Guys, so welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about how I use flags inside of OmniFocus. This is like the feature in OmniFocus of actually flagging a task. I also have a tag of the word flag that I will use for different purposes, but that's not what this video is covering. So I kind of change how I use flags depending on what I'm trying to accomplish or how I'm using OmniFocus at that particular point. Generally speaking, I try to have no flagged items at the end of the day. A flagged item to me means it's something that I need to keep on my radar and in my face, something that I want to make sure I don't lose track of because it needs to get done right away. Or another use case I have is kind of a way to create like a perspective on the fly, which also is like for a particular use case in that moment. So I'll kind of cover those items. I generally don't have a lot of flagged tasks. Even having 3 of these today is kind of a lot. Generally speaking, when I process my inboxes each night, things are getting put into the proper place, the proper location. So let's start with my way of flagging a task to keep it in my face. So in some of the other videos that I've gone through, I've talked about the different perspectives I use to run my day. Generally, I have a today perspective, which is capturing everything for my to-do list. It's capturing repeating things, things that I decided to do today, things that are due, or things that are flagged. So flagged is one way for me to get something very quickly on my to-do list because it requires no overhead. You know, these were 3 things that I threw in my inbox today between meetings and on calls that I need to take care of today. I don't have to sit there and think about what project do they go into, what tags do I need to get them to show up on my radars. I don't have to redo any of that. If they're quick, I can just throw them on with a flag and then mark it off, and it's completed out of the inbox. So it's a very quick way for those small little things. I like to do the flag too because I have these different perspectives I use for my to-do list depending on kind of what zone I'm in. And I have a few different videos on this below, so I'll link my OmniFocus playlist. I have a video on just kind of my today perspectives, which is most of these. But the flagged, no matter what, is showing on all those different variations, which I really like because, again, I haven't categorized this. I haven't put it in a project with a specific tag. I want it to stay in my face until I take care of it or I file it away. To me, it's like a very annoying thing to see this, and that's intentional. So if I'm looking at things to do for like family time today, and I'm saying, well, all 3 of these are work, and this is really annoying, I don't unflag it. I will take the time and put these in the right project, the right tags if necessary, or it sits there until it's completed. The other type of perspective I use daily is looking at different blocks. And so I will block and batch my time, and I have a separate video on this as well. But again, those flag tasks show on this radar. So very quick, very easy way to get it in here. It also helps me create a perspective on the fly. So I have this one perspective that I'll kind of walk through. It's called my life admin perspective, and this is just one example of this use case. I have a few others in here that operate similarly, but we'll just walk through this one for today. So generally for me, when I talk about life admin, it's like all these little tiny annoying things that you could put off doing for forever, but at some point they need to get done. And so generally I block out a few hours or a half day or something and kind of power through them all. The way that this perspective is built is that it will automatically pull in anything that is marked with quick as a tag, and it will also pull in the couple projects I have for just general life admin. So some repeating things for life admin. I have just a general running project. But on days like this, I might choose to tackle some other things I otherwise wouldn't do. And so I also have a pull-in flagged. So if we were to look at this perspective right now, you would see that those 3 flagged things are showing up. Now, when I'm doing this use case and I'm saying, here's a perspective, I'm putting a whole bunch of things and then I'm going to go do them all, I'm generally doing that right now, like within the next few hours. So again, I clear my flags by the end of the day. If these were things that I didn't want on here, then I would take the time and actually put them where they belong. But I can also zip through the rest of my tasks and add anything onto this list that I want to tackle. So maybe I want to take care of that. I want to process some of those items. I want to work on that. Let's read a little bit. And then let's also do this. So if I go back to that life admin perspective, I have custom created myself a list of things to go out and do. I could just use the flag perspective, but for this one in particular, I also wanted to pick up quick things and anything that lives in those life admin projects already. So you could use this in a lot of different contexts, but if you find yourself wanting to make a list of things on a piece of paper or in another app for kind of this like short burst of work, consider using this method. That's really what this is about. So if I go back to the flagged, I can come in and unmark these things here. Because again, if I left this, listen to this podcast, it will show up on my today list because it's pulling anything that's flagged. It is also going to show up on my blocks list as something to do as well. It stays in your face until it's processed. I sometimes have some other ad hoc uses for flags, but that's generally what I do. You know, end of the day, my bare minimum, like if, you know, I'm on vacation and there's nothing pressing that I need to do or I'm not really in OmniFocus, the bare minimum is I make sure my forecast is taken care of and my flags are taken care of, because flags means it's not where it should be. It's something quick. It's something I need to pay attention to. I either need to process it, complete it, or decide not to do it. So, short video on kind of how I use flags, but those are really the main ways. Like I said, I clear them by the end of the day. They are meant, my perspectives are meant to show everything for flags, regardless what the criteria is. And then I do use it to help kind of custom build these perspectives on the fly for certain use cases. If you have any other questions about this, let me know. Like I said, I'll link some other OmniFocus videos that kind of touch on this, or just if you're curious about my setup. Thanks so much for watching.